guys, Darin Benson again with Performance Motorcoaches. We'll do something a little bit different. Also, it's blazing hot, so we wanted to be out of the shop, but also out of the sun as well. So we'll go ahead and jump right into this coach. This is a pre-owned 2021. This unit came to us from a customer. Did not buy this brand new from us, but luckily we got him. This will be his third Renegade coach. He's decided to go up to a big 600 horse tandem axle, also a bath and a half. So this was his first venture into a classic. This is the new body style, so it's the Cascadia 116. You'll hear people call it the P4, so that's like the fourth generation of the Cascadia. Don't know why they call it the fourth generation, because it's actually the second generation. So it's the P4 116. It is a 505 horse Detroit diesel, so the DD13, mated to the Allison 6-speed transmission. He will be going to the DT transmission, so that was another thing for him. He's in the mountains quite a bit, wanting to utilize something that has more gears on board. Does have the aero cap design up front, so this is more of definitely a couples coach here, but it is a large horsepower coach. It does have 20,000 pound towing capacity. People generally do tow with these things, but if you're towing a really large trailer, I'd really recommend stepping up to a tandem axle here. So just kind of run down the side. It does have a full custom paint job on it. This was Renegade's kind of first venture into some of the lithium batteries. So there's a total of 9 batteries complete on this coach. So 900 amp hours. It does have a Magnum inverter, but does have a Victron shunt to be able to monitor those batteries. 275 gallon gray and black. Does have a macerator system from the factory. There's 12 volt heat pads on the bottom of each one of those, and then there is a hydronic register here inside the wet bay. Nice clean wet bay to be able to, you don't have to worry about stickers falling off. This is just these are kind of no-brainer stickers, but the big deal, all this is water jetted into place there. These are all fully locking. Still have a remote, or the keypad right next to the entry door will fire all these things into conjunction with the entry door. So 8K gen, Renegade went to anything on single axle, they went to an 8K. Prior to, you saw some 10s and 12.5s on a single axle, but they just went uniform just to be able to keep under. Certain states have axle capacities at 20,000 pounds, and so just trying to keep that under, even though technically this coach has a 23,000 pound rear axle on it, just trying to eliminate some of that weight. Does not have any of the line baggage compartments, which I thought was kind of an odd for a higher end coach. That's something we typically like to do, is do all the baggage compartments lined so you can wipe them out without having any carpet on board there. Transfer switch here, your power cord, your 50 amp power cord right there, then there's automatic reel inward. Several security lights all the way down the side, also on the back of the coach. Like I said, technically this hitch is actually rated at 40,000 pound hitch, but because of the single axle capacity and with this particular setup right here, this is actually rated down at 12,000 pounds, just that. But if you had the 2 5/16, it'll get you back up to that 20,000 pound capacity. Does have a rear window on it, so that's one thing that Renegade is still offering. As long as you have some type of a rear bedroom configuration, you can still do a rear window there. So Aquahot 450 hydronic heating system. It is plumbed to the engine, so the waste heat from the engine keeps that system nice and warm driving up and down the road. Because it is a single axle, this is a 38 CSB, so single axle affords you a little bit more storage. We had a 38 tandem the other day, and it definitely ate up a fair amount of storage with that additional 4 foot for your baggage compartment. Nice and clean. This coach has 26,000 miles, but you couldn't tell it by walking around. This coach could easily pass for 5,000 to 10,000 miles. Incredibly clean inside and out. Guy was pretty OCD, keeping everything nice and clean. He was in mountain environments, but he made sure to either keep it really clean whenever he did use it in those, or just tried to keep it inside whenever it was pretty darn inclement. Outdoor TV. It wasn't until 22 that they went to a TV that actually comes outward. The 43-inch TV, soundbar below that, and it does have the Girard awning. This is a decent little upgrade back in 2021. See if I'm smart enough to open it. The inverter is not on. We'll see if we can. So it is a 110 awning, so you'll either need your generator running or your inverter. On all the later models, they more or less pulled the inverter on and off feature. It just kind of, there's so many things that need 12 volt on these coaches that they've just eliminated that pretty much altogether. We won't bore you with everything out. It is a pitched awning, that's why I wanted some people to see it. It makes it really handy. Of course, coupled with a side mounted, helps out considerably. If on 23 they went to all rooftop awnings, and while it's a really good clean look, it just not too shade friendly. So like I said, definitely makes it handy. You know, we don't have much side sun, but just affords you a little bit more protection with the awning being down a little bit low, coupled with that two-stage awning. So we'll go ahead and jump inside. All tiled floor. They are heated tile floors, tiled entry as well. You can see, of course, it's a real usable coach when you are driving up and down the road. That has the front dinette, which oddly enough, most of the 2023s will be a similar type setup in that everything is moved to mid-entry with front kitchen. So large opening here. Of course, it does have the aero cap instead of the bunk over, so lots of walk room back and forth. The cab seats do swivel around. This is convertible, and of course the theater seats right here. So take and flip flop around to this mid bath. It's a really large open bath. You get varying opinions about these large mid baths. It's kind of a one-stop shop for everything. Unfortunately, a lot of people have very mixed opinions on not being able to travel forwards and backwards inside of the coach. But there again, for a couple of for just a couple, two people, it's really not too big of a deal. But lots of room inside here. That's the problem with a lot of the mid baths. Whenever you start separating the toilet, is it gets very, very confined. This thing is monstrous right here. There's a ton of room. So if you're a bigger person, that makes a huge difference having this. You're going to have to give up having an isolated shower or isolated toilet in the matter. So really large doorway right here. And so there again, you could actually use this coach. If you're a little bit shorter, because the bed does go underneath the cabinet, you could use this coach all buttoned up. So we will get all the slides opened up and then we'll come on back. All right, so you can see a lot more room once you get this dude all opened up. This large slide gives you full walk room here. Of course, it wasn't too bad to begin with, but lots of room right here. So if you're doing a fair amount of cooking, you don't have to worry about kind of interfering back and forth. Like I said, this will be pretty similar to the 2023s. They've gone to mid-entry all the way across the board, and then they've stacked the kitchen right up here. The only thing they've done on most 2023s is this guy goes right here, and the refrigerator moves back a little bit. But a fair amount of storage in this guy. This does have a large pull-out pantry here, so you could really put your massive hominy or your big giant 1 gallon nacho cheese in these large stores right here. Does have the Firefly operating system. Does not have full integration, which is actually my preference. I don't like the heated tile floors in the Firefly. They have them on separate controllers, so you can still go back and put them on a separate time control. So my deal is, if I want heated tile floors, I want them to come on about 6:30 in the morning when I jump out of bed. They're nice and warm. Currently, the setup, you actually have to turn it on or off. So a little frustrating, a little aggravating. Does have the mesh over your entertainment system right here. This has a wine guard traveler, so it's the little guy that pops up. People kind of prefer those over the InMotion if you're doing a lot of stationary travel. So decent sized cabinets on either side here. That's some of your awning controls inside there. And then the cab lights, you can turn those on and off to your lights right there. And this guy right here is actually for satellite. I don't know why they have the HDMI cable here versus up there, but that was kind of an interesting little feature. Hydraulic, the equalizer, hydraulic levelers, it is integrated to an app, so you can run all that on your phone as well. Really nice layout of the cab here. Dump the cameras off of the Garmin system and then put them up on that 7-inch monitor right there, which makes it pretty darn friendly. These seats do take and turn around. This is actually just a little cushion that goes back into place here. So definitely by far my favorite cab out there. Very usable cab, lots of space, very, very quiet. You know, oddly enough, we had a customer that came in on Saturday, had to have a Peterbilt, and we drove a Cascadia, and he said, I finally get the difference. So I said convertible here, that little cushion plops, and then you do have storage on each side right here. And then the theater seats, they are automatic. They heat and vibrate for some reason. Reminds me of a cheap hotel room, but whatever. So lots of storage all the way across the board there as well. This is the burnished sable with the cream walls, and they went ahead and did the burnished sable from the chair rail down. So with the lighter colored furniture and the lighter countertops, that makes it pretty nice as well. I think I figured out why we have vibrating seats. It's to match the backlit countertops. You can turn that off, so I'll turn that off if that is off-putting to anybody. I'm not a big fan of that lighting, but it's just all about kind of what you're looking for. If I'm smart enough to actually get there. Am I just that dumb? If I turn it all the way off. Well, I can assure you can turn that off. I'm just not smart enough to get to that right now. But and that is color changing as well. If you were, I think they did it with the floor lighting. I just can't quite seem to figure it all out. So the wind is picking up and you can actually hear the awning coming inwards right there. Anyway, I promise you that does turn off. We'll go ahead and get all these guys open for people that want to see how much storage you have in here. There's a little subwoofer down below. It does have the little drawer for all of your cutlery there. And I like this particular setup right here. Does not have the recessed cooktop. It's just one extra little lip to have to contend with and get it nice and clean. Single basin sink right there, which is actually standard all the way across the board now. No more dual basins, unfortunately. It does pop out. Induction cooktop there. I'm going to give it one last thing, front lighting. That's the accent light. It's on the floor. So anyway, that will turn off and turn the accent back on, back in the window valances. Like we talked, really large mid-bath right here. So like I said, if you're a bigger person or just somewhat claustrophobic, this affords you a lot more room here. Some of these floor plans get a little tight. You know, if you're in, say, like a little hallway, and you start doing this number, and it gets a little tight as you're trying to move your laundry back and forth. And even imagine if the hallway was a little bit tighter here and trying to throw your clothes over there. So it does go a little bit tighter. So very much a matter of preference here, but there is really, really good storage all the way inside here. Big linen closet. And like I said, all of these, this is actually convertible right here. All these cabinets will come out, and then you can utilize that for hanging storage. Obviously, not my favorite in regards to the neo-angle shower here, but there again, good size room here. I prefer square showers. I prefer not to have these neo-angle doors like that, but just preference-wise. Make sure you always hear the magic click. It's a good size room here and here. and those are convertible shelves as well. Do have opposing slides back here in the master. There again, a ton of room right here. Your egress is actually back behind the head of the bed, and then they did another drawer stack within this. Normally, if you just do the 32-inch TV, you got a countertop right here without all these drawers here, but fair amount of room, and it does have cedar lined closets there. Everything is all solid maple. All the drawers are all dovetail construction, and they are coupled with soft close. There again, some mesh there that goes over that. Your rear entertainment, RV King there, and then there are two 75-gallon water tanks right there. Makes it really easy to take and winterize this system because of your little valve and the water. All the water system is basically located from the floor and above. Dropping that water is pretty darn simple as well. You get the two hydronic registers on each side. So picture window right here. They don't do any kind of opening window on the back of the coach, but everything is all dual paned, and all these are automatic window shades. I didn't see the controller, but for the rear you actually do them right here. Panel that goes above the bed, so you can operate your generator. You can do most of your lights. You can do your ceiling lights back here as well. And then you do have little cubbies on each side, coupled with USB and 110 on each side of the bed here. Ceiling fan in both locations. They went ahead and did a max air right back here, so if you're in really relatively cool environments, you can get all your heat out right back there with that max air. Two 15,000 BTU Coleman Mach 8s, and those do have the heat pump integration in them as well. So really nice coach, very, very clean. Like I said, I don't believe that anybody will be disappointed. There's no scratches, no dings, no nicks. It's definitely a higher line coach to have, and for somebody that's out west that's looking for something a little bit smaller, not wanting to wait on a brand new unit, this coach basically checks all those boxes. So happy to have the unit. Make sure you guys give me a call with any questions. We will have full pictures on our website, pmcrv.com, and then anybody wants to come out and check it out, just let us know. We always appreciate you guys following us all the way through these videos. It's getting a little hot, a little stuffy today, so we'll go ahead and cut this one short, but appreciate you guys always coming out. Make sure you guys like, tag, and subscribe.